This perp back with another video, and we finally reached the finale of the 101 scariest horror movie moments of all time. This is episode 8, and we are finally at the top 10, and what a top 10 this is. And I don't want to waste no time. Let's get right into it. Starting with Ring U. Not the remake that came out in '06, but the original Japanese version. And I think this is an alright spot for Ring U. I still think it's an effective movie. I know a lot of people don't appreciate Japanese horror or foreign horror, but it's definitely one of the dopest. Let me know how you guys feel about Ring U being at number 10. Next up, at number 9, we have Train to Busan. I really love this movie. This movie is really dope, and that ending scene is definitely a very tearjerker, very much a tearjerker, and definitely will get you emotional. The action is really dope. So yeah, I think Train to Busan being at number 9 is very shocking. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty damn hot. Next, we got Sinister, which I expected this to be a little bit higher, probably in the top 5. But the lawnmower scene, it's obvious, you know what I'm saying? But you can really pick a lot of different scenes from Sinister. I definitely think it holds up. It's definitely one of the most effective scary movies in modern day, I would say. Then at number 8, you have The Exorcist, which I am really shocked by this because this threw me off. I think a lot of people are expecting this to at least be in the top 3. I still think it's still top 10 material. Regardless, it's still a shocking placement for this movie. Me personally, I would have put this in the top 5. I think that this movie had a lot of moments that were just ahead of its time. Now, another one was number, 6, was The Shining. I was like, wow, just missed the top 5. I'm just like, this is personally my favorite horror movie of all time, and for many reasons, I'm not going to go into it, but just, man, I'm just shocked that this made it to 6. Let me know how you guys feel about, so far, like Exorcist's placement and The Shining's placement. Now we get into the top 5. Psycho, and I think this is a correct placement for Psycho. Psycho is a very influential horror movie. You could arguably say that this was the first slasher, you know what I'm saying, or at least inspired what we got out of slashers, like with Halloween, even Black Christmas, and so forth and so forth. Even Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well. We'll get into that as well. But next we get Audition. This is number 4, and this is always really high on people's list, and rightfully so, because I remember this movie, but I haven't even seen it in so long. But just the imagery will just really stick with you, and they talked about that in this as well. So yeah, Audition, I think it definitely kind of belongs to be this high. I don't think anybody's going to really have an issue with it. But now the next one, that I thought that this was going to be ending up being in number 1, just because the way the list was going, but it still made the top 3. I predicted that Hereditary would be in the top 10 and possibly in the top 3. Deservedly so, but I feel like a lot of old school horror fans probably might not like this movie being this high up compared to some of the previous movies. So let me know how you guys feel about that. The Thing at number 2. This was really, I'm kind of shocked at this, but The Thing is very much a movie that gets referenced even outside of horror. So yeah, I definitely think that John Carpenter's The Thing definitely deserves to be up here. It's very iconic. It's undeniably just ahead of its time from when it came out. Now, number 1 was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the very original one. Me personally, I wouldn't have put this at number 1, but I understand that, people Really loved this movie, and it had a big impact at the time. Me, I would have definitely probably put The Shining here, or even probably like The Exorcist, or maybe something else within the top 10 at number 1. But I think this was a solid top 10. I don't think it's going to please everybody. I'd be curious to see how other people within the horror community react to this top 10. You know what I'm saying? And just the list overall. I think it was a pretty, interesting list, because it has a lot of things that are like questionable, but then a lot of things that, okay, I can understand. Like, I feel like that's fair. Me, I think Terrifier should have definitely made this list over a lot of different movies that they've picked. I would have took Don't Breathe off this list. I would definitely took off those 2 episodes, because you could have definitely put something in those places, in those spots, to actually make this a full-fledged movie list, because it's just going to be a weird list when people look at it. Some people are just going to prefer the Bravo list, and it's going to be interesting to look back at the Bravo list and compare it to this one to see how it kind of matches up. I think a lot of people are going to prefer the Bravo, like I said, and a more of the newer crowd might like more of the newer horror fans nowadays might like the Shudder list, which that's what's kind of interesting. It's all subjective, but let me know how you guys feel about this finale and just the overall list in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.